gentlemen, it's with great pleasure that I introduce a good friend, a former social studies teacher and administrator at Kenmore East, Mr. Bill Jack.
Good afternoon and welcome to a home of the Bulldogs. This afternoon, I'd like to thank Mr. Spriggle here to greet Sparky. Also, Mr. Dan Krangle, Mrs. Lisa Shamara, and Mrs. Melissa Brinson. Our school board members, the president of our Board of Education, Mrs. Melissa Brinson, Vice President Mr. Lou Reuter, and Mr. Tom Noonan. Past board member Mr. Paul Stenzel. School administrators from our Kenton district. Introducing Mr. Mark Mondanaro, our new superintendent. Mr. Steve Bavino, our new assistant superintendent. Mr. Tom Wolf, and Mr. Rick Oliver. And of course, from Kenmore East, our principal, Luann Ostansky, and assistant principal, Mr. Jim Dunnigan. Also like to introduce Sparky Adams and his family. At this time, we'd like to begin the ceremonies. It is a pleasure to introduce our superintendent of schools for the Kenmore Town of Tonawanda UFSD, Mr. Mark Mondanaro.
Good afternoon. It is a well-known fact that great schools make a great community, but it is great people that make great schools, as we all know. We gather here today to recognize and honor one such person. As a physical education teacher and football coach at Kenmore East, Coach Adams' impact on the school, the community, and his players was beyond measure. It is right and fitting that we engrave his name in this field, the one he created. It's my pleasure to introduce Director of Athletics, Mr. Brett Banker.
Thank you, Mark. This field, originally named Parker Field, witnessed its first game in 1970. Its creation was a result of concentrated effort by Coach Adams for Kenmore East to enjoy its own home rather than share a field with a cross-town rival, Kenmore West. The design of its field house and its setting are his creation, a state-of-the-art facility at its time. Coach Adams' teams thrived on this turf with a Niagara Frontier League championship in its inaugural year and 5 section championships in subsequent seasons. Many of those he coached continued to play at top universities and colleges across the country. But all those he coached benefited from his commitment to ideals and love of the game. His impact reaches the corners of the globe, and the loyalty of his players is eternal. It's my pleasure to introduce Board President Melissa Brinson.
Thank you, Mr. Banker. I have a few things that I'd like to say, but before I do, I'd like to introduce Councilman Dan Krangle.
Thank you. Coach, on behalf of the Town of Tonawanda Town Board and the Supervisor, Town of Tonawanda, we'd like to issue the certificate of recognition for outstanding contributions to Kenmore East High School and the community. Awarded to Dick Sparky Adams on the special occasion of the dedication of Dick Sparky Adams Field. Congratulations, Coach.
At the school board meeting in June, the school board passed a resolution that brought us all here today, in addition to this game, and I'd like to read it. Whereas Richard Sparky Adams served the district for over 35 years as a coach, and whereas Mr. Adams, Coach Adams, served as a mentor and role model to hundreds of student athletes, and whereas it is appropriate to recognize such dedication to this district and its students, now therefore be it resolved that the district's athletic field currently known as Parker Field shall henceforth be known as Richard Sparky Adams Field. Now I'd like to turn the microphone over to Mr. Vice President Lou Reuter.
I have had the exceedingly good fortune of having Sparky Adams as both my mentor and that as a friend. I am forever grateful for the fact that Sparky had tapped me to be part of his coaching staff. Whenever his athletes that he had coached in the past, wherever and whenever they gather, they continue to talk about their development as football players and the prowess that they have demonstrated, not only in terms of football, but in terms of good citizenship. Sparky Adams represents the quintessential attributes that coaches and coaching are all about. That is the perfect manifestation of good coaching. At this time, I would like Coach Adams to assist me in unveiling the sign that will continue to reflect that this field is now the Dick Sparky Adams Field. Coach Adams, would you please give me a hand? I would also direct the folks to look at the scoreboard. Please take a look at the scoreboard as well. With pleasure, Coach Adams.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, ladies, gentlemen, students. I appreciate the kind introduction. I am totally humbled by this honor. I never expected anything that awesome as this award. Acknowledging everyone that's responsible for this day, I'd like to give you all a big hug. And to Chopper Fiden, to Bill Crow, Jim Donegan, and Lou Reuter, whose kind words on my behalf to the Board of Education, thank you. To the Board of Education, who received the renaming petition and made this day possible, thank you. To the organizing committee of this event, your secrecy was outstanding. Never did I hear or suspect that this was happening. Thank you. I wish to repeat some remarks that I made at my retirement dinner in 1978. Football has always played a large part in my life, for I firmly believe that it helps develop qualities helpful in meeting situations in life. All of my efforts have been geared toward preparing each individual to meet all of these challenges that football and life presents with confidence, enthusiasm, and a strong sense of fair play. In addition, I attempted to create a feeling of loyalty to teammates both past and present. and a sense of pride in being a Kenmore East Bulldog. Hopefully, I have succeeded. I guess I did. No one works alone or succeeds alone. There has never been an I in team. To all of my assistant coaches, I say thank you, for I have been fortunate to have been surrounded by loyal and energetic staffs. Bob Bird, Bob Shotoff, Pat Wiles, Gary Dean, Jim Dunnigan, Lou Reuter, Russ McKellar, Mike Chrisman, Bernie Raybaum, and lastly, my right-hand man, Bruce McKellar. When I look out at this gathering, I see many Bulldogs. To all of you players that are here and away, you made Kenmore East prominent, and your efforts and your dedication are most appreciated by me. Thank you. I also wish to recognize the support groups that we had and to tell you how important your role was towards Kenmore East's successes. All of the parents and the loyal fans, all of our girls that were our statistic team, the Student Booster Club, led by Doug King, the Adult Booster Club, the cheerleaders and their advisors, the band with Bill Mosier, the Blue Gold Diggers and their advisors. You may not recognize Blue Gold Diggers, but they were a fantastic dance group. They went along with the band. The Eastettes flag team and all of the baton groups, the touchdown tumblers who would be in the end zone after every score doing their flips, the student managers and the ball boys, our announcer Bill Jack, the sideline crew, the photographers, the groundskeepers, the building attendants, Hugh Patterson, Bill Truman. I say thank you to all of you people. And to my family, to my wife Jean. Without her, I wouldn't be here because she made it happen. Thank you, Jean. And to my children, Ricky and Penny and Amy and their spouses and grandchildren, I say thank you. I'm so proud of all of them. First of all, they put up with me, and also they all performed on this field. As a player, as a dancer in the Blue Gold Diggers, as a member of the band. And we have a new one in the cheerleading crew that's over there today, Alexandria. And I say thank you to all of you. And lastly, always remember, once a Bulldog, always a Bulldog. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for attending this historic ceremony today at Dick Sparky Adams Field. Friends and former players are invited to a reception immediately following the game at Computi's Pub on Sheridan Drive. At this time, I'd like to direct your attention to our band under the direction of Mr. Phil Agulia, who will play our alma mater, following which we ask all former players and coaches to the south end of the field in the stands for a picture.
I'll be right over.
All former players and coaches, please go to the south end of the stand for a picture.
All right, guys.
I gotta go release the baby.
Sure.
I'm gonna try and.
I think I should.
You're going over, right?
Oh yes, are you? You're going to go over?
We're gonna try.